Alrighty. Today's the 20th. It's Friday, and I want to talk about my trading and some setups. Trading is still struggling, still going. Just a hard market right now, in my opinion. I missed all the big moves already. Again, or I caught the first moves, missed the second moves, like this one. Missed Rocket Lab. Um, Missed it. This one's actually performing pretty well. Core Weave, I missed this one. LEU, I'm still in. Sold some this morning at like 189. Um, Dave kind of coming back. Carvana bouncing back. Teed up. Missed this one, but I still think this setup wasn't really that great in my opinion. Sezol waiting. Odd still waiting. App kind of AAP. So yeah. Hood. I wanted to dip buy this morning. I was gonna like triple my size in this. I wanted to buy it like at 60 or 76, something around that, and then you know, I just it's just so strong, and I wanted to buy it, but I didn't because of some losses that I took. So mind you, I've been really disciplined this whole week on not buying breakouts or just buying anything that's not setting up. And today, I sell half of what's left of my LEU. So I sold, I think it was like 10. I had 20 shares, so I sold like 10 shares up here at like 190. So that realized like 800 and it was like $830, something like that, 800 and some dollars that I had realized like gain. And today I see HIMS right kind of gap up in the morning. I see it gap up in the morning while the SPY kind of I mean I guess barely slightly gaps it slightly gaps up, right, slightly, kind of like the same open as the yesterday's. And I see HIMS. So I see HIMS and I'm like, okay, you know what? I like this gap up over this range. It gapped up over the range. So I wanted to buy it. So in the morning, I was setting, I set a buy order, a limit buy order that was just underneath the high of the day at the time. So around this time, the high was, oops, yeah, there it is. The high was 73, 63.72, and I had the buy order at like 63.50. Right, I wanted it underneath because I wanted to like have the order out and I can just drag it. I can move it around because I wanted to see what HIMS was gonna do because it popped out straight in the morning on some pretty high volume on that first 2 minute bar. That first 2 minute bar, we can see here. Actually, I'll do it on my other screen second, but I'll just tell you the number. That first 2 minute bar. Um, Let me see. Sorry, I'm trying to zoom in. Sorry. Let's see. Yeah, that first 2 minute bar, there was 1.1 million shares, which is the highest bar of the day because the next candle is 600,000. So here it's 1.1 million shares traded. And so there was quite a bit of volume, but it's still not like 1 million is nothing compared to its average daily volume. So should I probably should pay attention. But anyways, it took off pretty quickly, and I was like, okay, well, let me set the order out, and I can just like move it. If it goes up, I can just drag it up higher, and then buy the breakout. So I put the order on. As soon as I put the order out, the stock goes straight down, boom, and it just fills my order. Like so. I think that I put the order out when it was here. I put the order 63.50, like just like 25 cents below the price, so that I can either like push it up, or if it's pulling back, I can just drag it down, wait for it to touch VWAP, and then take off, and then for it to take off, and then add in, or get into the position. So it fills me at 63.48. Fills me, boom. I was like, oh god, I'm already in this thing. Like I don't want. I was like within the first. Let me tell you what time. Within the first 35 seconds of the open, I was already in. And I was like, dang it, I didn't want to be in already. And the low of the day at the time, um, this candle here was 62.16, so I had my stop there. I got stopped out. Or actually, no, I'm lying. At the time, the low of the day was like 62.50, and I bought 300 shares, right? So it was like a dollar a risk, and then it just completely went right down through. So I got in so quickly, so early that like there wasn't really a low of day. The low of day was like pre-market, which was like 62.50, so like right around here area. And I was like, what am I like? I was like, what am I doing, dude? I mean, it's just. I'll show you the entries right here. Here we go. Okay, so here is the entry. So see the entry here. In the first 35 seconds, boom, and then like, let me check. So I bought it in within the first 35 seconds, and then literally 15 seconds later, I was out because it just like had it. The stock was up here. I had the order here. Boom, it came right down. Literally right as I pressed the order, the stock came down. Boom, filled the order, and then I was stopped out within 15 seconds. I was like, "Are you?" That's like the fastest $300 I've ever lost in my entire life. 15 seconds. Should just went to the casino. Anyways, so I see it, right? I see this big pullback, and then I'm watching the market on the side too. It's kind of just going down, and then him started to have relative strength with the market because the market was just kept pulling down. It was under VWAP, and the HIMS was kind of over VWAP. Um, and it just had some strength compared to the overall market. You can see here, this is HIMS, and then SPY. See how the SPY is just straight down. Well, HIMS was kind of bounced up over VWAP. So if you look at the picture, I don't think I saved it. Dang it. I'll take another one. Let me see. So, anyways, if you look at the screenshot here, so then I see it kind of like reclaim VWAP, and then it bounced, and then a couple minutes, I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna buy it. So I bought it again because I've had success with this one. This type of style setup in the past, it'll break out, come pull back, come over VWAP, and then break out again. So you can see it kind of was doing that here, and then there was some more weakness in the market. I had my stop at low a day. Low a day, if you see this candle here, was at the low of day was 61.62, and I had my stop, which was right here at the same exact low, 61.61. And as I'm away, I get filled, or I get stopped out at 61.61. And because I wanted to buy it, so I wanted to buy it at the break of 63, the whole number. I get stopped out at 61.61. The low of the day is 61.52. So literally 9 cents. 9 cents. 9 cents away. I think it's like 150 shares either way. And now it's doing exactly what I wanted it to do. Yeah. So I'm just getting absolutely just I'm getting absolutely pulverized here. It's just super hard for me, at least. I'm having trouble. Market is closed, but I mean, this thing is. I don't know. I don't know how to explain this. You know, it's up 5% on the day. Sorry, up 5% from the close of yesterday's close or Wednesday's close. So yeah, that one hurts because I'd be up on it now. I got stopped out by 9 cents. So mind you, I took a realized gain today that's taken a month, 28 days, right? A month of gains on my last 10, 15, or 20% of shares that I have. I sell half of them. I realized $830. And on HIMS alone today, HIMS alone, I lose 495. So $500 on HIMS alone. Alone. And not only that, here's NVTS that I tried to buy today because I saw the semiconductors doing pretty well. This is a semiconductor. And they were doing well in the morning, as you can see. Kind of like that wick. You see the wick up there? So, let me bring up the chart. So, I mean, this NVTS wicks up huge in the morning. 2.8 million shares traded on NVTS, which is just nothing compared to the average volume. Anyways, so you look at my mistakes. But I mean, the wick that I had this morning. I'll show you the chart right here. Here we go. So even with this one too, I entered in super early. NVTS, here it is here. I entered in within the first 2 minutes. So I entered in at around a minute 20, and I got stopped out about 3 minutes later. So I entered in at 9:31:20. So 9:31 and then 20 seconds. I got stopped out at 9:34:33. So about 3 minutes later. So same thing with this one. This is to me this is a pretty tight day. This is actually a pretty nice setup here. Um, I'm not mad that I took the loss on this one here. I think this is a pretty nice setup, especially for as high ADR that this stock has, and also the semiconductors were doing well. I was looking at Soxel. Um, okay, so look at this like this. So the open was here, right? So I mean, the opening up at the top of this range, shows some sign of strength in my opinion. Soxel, SMH. I mean, these things were strong in the morning. Nvidia at the top of its range. Um, Let me look at the more semiconductor. AVGO, it was looking good. All these semiconductors were looking well. So METS, I was like, okay, this one's like a pretty high momentum stock. I bought it on this breakout here. It got stopped out here this day. So I was looking at this one again. This is pretty tight range, in my opinion, for a stock that has ADR of 18. I mean, the open close was 3% with an ADR of 18, and then what's the high low? It just assumes right here. The high low was less than 5%. So less than a third of its ADR was traded yesterday in terms of the range. So that's a pretty tight day, and the volume you can see is decreased too. So it went from this day here, 103 million, 47 million, 40 million, 58, a little bit of spike. Back down to 33, and then this one was at 29. So the volume decreased, the range tightened up, just under the 10-day moving average, and these stocks, they can just take off, they can just rip, and then so it looks like it's breaking out, right? Goes over the 10. It literally was up. This is the open, right? Yeah, it was up 5%. I was buying it on this wick. You can see here this wick, this big push in the morning on pretty sizable volume, in my opinion. So a tenth of its volume today was traded in that first 2 minutes. Um, and then I was like, well, this is gonna break out. So I bought it and I lost. I took a small loss. Well, it wasn't a full R in terms of risk. It was like just under 3/4. So I sized down, I guess you can say. But as you can see, um, I don't know. What happened to the screenshot? Sorry, let me take a screenshot of this again. Actually, yeah, I think I deleted it. But you can see here again. You can see that I got up in. Actually, it wasn't too late. In my opinion, it was like 20 cents, which is obviously like 4% from the open. And I was confident in it, and I liked it, and I bought it. It worked for me the first time. Um, but the whole semiconductor market just failed on me today, so that was another loss. So basically, all the realized gain that took me a month today. Now it wasn't for the LEU. I made, I've sold some here and there, but the gain I made today alone on LEU, done, all just complete, all gone. A month worth of gains from one stock. I sell it today, not majority of it, obviously. I mean, anyways, the realized gains from that sale today, this morning, of like $830, whatever, completely wiped out today. Wiped out a month's worth of gains of one stock, not of all the gains, but basically I have wiped out months worth of gains. My equity at one point in my account was up to like 42, 43, and now it's at 37. And that's just from taking losses. Yeah, I mean, you can see it in my trader view. Just getting super chopped up in this market. You can see here the market's pulling back, so not really time for breakouts right now. The breakouts, they already passed. Yeah, well, I mean, some of these things are working. These space stocks are kind of working pretty well, but even Tesla today, Tesla kind of faked everybody out too, as it was getting above the 10-day, up over 330. I was gonna buy some, but I ended up holding back the trigger, not pulling the trigger. Sorry, getting my thumb off the trigger and like actually like sitting here and waiting. Like, I don't think today's the day, but so really struggling. Also, so earlier I was talking about buying this dip on Hood right here, and the reason why I did it is because I took all those losses already. And I was like, well, I'm up on this pretty sizable amount with the leftover shares that I have, and I want to re-add. I also want to like double, triple my size here because I think this has potential to break, especially with the market being as weak as it has been, and this thing stays up. Like the market's gone down what 1.25% this past week basically, and Hood, oops, and Hood has gone like up. It's gone up 6%. The relative strength on this thing is insane. So I wanted to add today on those dips here, like 76.50. So I have 60 shares left over. I wanted to get like at least 90 more shares to make it like a smooth 150, or even like tripling it. So buying 120 to make it 180 total shares. But yeah, I mean, you just struggling now. I feel like I've made no progress these past couple months. I mean, I was doing well in the beginning of this run here, right around here. Where was it? April, May here. I was doing well, um, and just slowly starting to lose it all back. So probably not gonna trade unless I see like there's not really any setups anyways. And they were, I missed them. Here's CoreWeave, missed. Rocket Lab, missed. Yeah, Wednesday. LU, no setup. Dave, no setup yet. Carvana, no setup. Oddity, still a setup. There's a setup here, but it's 4 ADR and it's under the 10 and 20, so no setup. Sezzle, it's looks like a setup, but it's not really a setup. This thing needs to pull back down to like this how it did here, but hold this way, not come pop right back up. It's too much strength in that thing right now. No setup. Um, you can call this one a breakout. It technically is, but I didn't think it was. It wasn't. I didn't like how this. I mean, it was tight, but it was under the 10 and 20. I didn't really like it. IONQ, no setup here for me. Domo, no setup. HRTG, no. Nope. NVTS, we'll have to wait a few more days now with this fake breakout. It's probably going to break out Monday, knowing my luck in the market. Hood, kind of setting up. Maybe a few more tight days. Tesla, also kind of setting up. Needs a few more tight days here. Needs to get up over that 10. CLS, basically missed this breakout, but not really a breakout. The day before was super wide range. QBTS under the 10 and 20. Don't want that. NBIS. A couple more days, and maybe this upper range here would be nice. So Monday, probably not going to trade other than trying to short circle. I mean, this thing is so strong. I tried to short this thing this morning, actually. Um, almost had it. Just soft. That's what it was. Just completely soft. Just very, very soft on my end in terms of pulling the trigger. So Circle, I located. Oops. Circle, I located 500 shares in the morning, and I was like, I was studying MSTR, I was studying SMCI, and then I was studying which one more? There's one more. I forgot. It's in my database. MSTR. Oh, and GameStop. So I was studying those stocks to see how it looks like in terms of the short. So this morning I was kind of waiting for like what I was waiting for is some not panic selling, but selling in the early in the morning, and some consolidation or like a pop, and then shorting into that at some key levels. So what I mean is, let me see if I can get it with the lines drawn. Okay, hold on. So I'll show you my chart. What it looked like this morning. So this is on the 2-minute chart of Circle here. So you look in the morning. I drew this line. I drew these lines here for like support and resistance. So resistance or resistance here, some resistance there, and then here you notice like kind of in this area here, this one, this support and resistance here, and then here. I could have drawn more, but I was like, it's already enough. I think I could have gotten away with just these two or these three. And then actually these four. I think these four were enough. Maybe this one it wasn't necessary because it's just a spike over that level. But oh well. So in the morning, How do I zoom in this thing? Here we go. So in the morning, I'm here, I'm sitting, and I see the weakness. So I see this pop in the morning, right before the market opens, and then I see the weakness, and I was like, okay, it's time. Like it's this is today is gonna be there's gonna be short opportunity today. Now, it being a huge opportunity, I was kind of iffy about it being a huge opportunity, but I know there was gonna be a short today, especially with the gap up. Um, the gap up here was sorry, it was 15%, but like this thing has gone up like 230% since it's open since its IPO, 250% since IPO. So I'm watching here and I see the weakness and I see the pop and then it just fails and I was like, okay, well, this is gonna be today is gonna be at least a short, right? It's gonna be short today, and I'm watching it here and it's kind of consolidating. I was watching like on the minute and the 2 minute chart, and I can see it consolidating a little bit, like right around VWAP, and there's a huge pop, and you can see the pop here. There's this huge pop in volume, um, and the volume for that candle was, let me see, what day candle was this 1.7. Oh, I think that was this candle here. Yeah. So right before this big drop here. Let me see. I'm sorry. Let me look on the 2 minute chart. So on this 2 minute chart here, this 2 minute chart alone, it was 1.9 million shares, which is quite a bit. I think, in my opinion, if you look at the shares traded today, 90 million, within 1 million within 2 minutes is quite a bit, especially on a short like today and such early in the morning. So if you look, you can't really see it on the chart. Actually, you could. Sorry, hold on, let me see. So I zoom out here. You can see here. So like a 2 minutes in, 3 minutes in, which is this candle here. There was just a ton of volume. You can see this like there was a huge pop here. Huge like tons of volume came in and it kind of like popped up and I was like, okay, this might be where you can start entering here. Now, what am I going to risk? I'm going to risk this high of day here or a pre-market high. So this price, the high of the candle was around 232. So 232, I saw it, and it kind of like over this range here. I saw that it was quick. It was boom. It like popped up within a couple seconds. And I was like, whoa. And then I was like, oh, do I short it here? I don't know. What am I risking? The high was 237, 236. The pre-market. That little red bar was 237.8, and this one was 232.8. So $5. Probably can get like 100 shares in there as a starter. Not, I'm lying. Probably 50 shares as a starter, or maybe full size, honestly, because it's such a high price. Um, I'm sitting here, I'm like, I don't know, and then just completely collapses, like just right away, and then you can see the short chasers coming in here. Just people just chasing. Once it broke VWAP, just kind of just shorted and kept shorting, and then it just reclaimed it all today, just all throughout the day, just reclaimed it right back. You can see here, just straight lower highs today. That's all there was, just lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. It just completely reclaimed it all back today. So I still think this needs time. Even this morning, I said there was possible short opportunity today, not the short opportunity. I still think it needs to go higher. I'm not gonna project anything, but maybe to like 275, 300. Just way like just needs to be much higher, much higher. Like maybe I think 300. If it gets to 300, like gaps up to 300 Monday, I think there's a big chance this thing is that's the short because technically it's going to be like the third day. So this is 1, 2, and then the third day is going to be Monday. So this thing can gap up to 275. 275 I don't think is enough because it's only 10%. So I think it needs to gap up to like 300, which is like at least 20% higher. So, oops. Um, anyways, so I missed that short opportunity. And then I was sitting here and I saw the bounce and it bounced right to VWAP. And I was sitting here and I was like, and it was like testing and then it popped up and I was like, okay. And then I sat here and it popped up again and I was like, okay. And I don't think this is a short anymore because I could have shorted at VWAP. Usually I like to, but I actually kind of wait to. Over time I've learned to wait to reject VWAP because I would have been caught in this. Yeah, I would. This happens to me so many times before where I short at VWAP right when it gets there, not even when it rejects it. It gets there, and then I'll have like let's say my stop is either this candle, or if I have a wider stop, it would be high a day, and I just get stopped out, and it just it just sucks. So a high day would have been this candle here, so this one, and then maybe pre-market highs. But I would have shorted this here, um, and I would have got stopped out. I would have lost more money. So I was sitting here and I was like, okay, let me wait. Let's wait till it rejects, and then just kept going and going. And I got to these levels. And I was like, okay, I can probably short at these levels if I really wanted to. But I was like, this is kind of middle of the range. There's nothing there. There's like nothing really like important there. Just like some support and resistances, but nothing really crazy. And then I saw it kind of get weak, and I was like, I don't know, pop right back up, weak, pop right back up, and then kind of got failed. And then here, I'm sure a lot of shorts got took pretty big losses here. Like this could be, I mean, honestly, this could be like short covering here. I don't really know. Obviously, I don't know. If I did, I probably wouldn't be making videos about me struggling. But so I'm sure a lot of shorts kind of got chopped up here because you can see that it goes starts to break under VWAP, and then I'm sure a lot of them piled up because you can kind of see the volume kind of pick up here. So shorting this breaks underneath, and you're like, yeah, we're going down now, and then pops right back up. Nope, and then takes off, and you can see as it breaks these levels, the volume picks up. So you can see a lot of people had their it looks like a lot of people had their covers here because you can see the volume pick up here, which is like this candle. And so once it broke these highs, like there's three levels here: one, two, three, maybe four, five, um, or four levels of resistance here. I guess if you want to claim it like that, I don't know how to explain it, but you can look. Let's see if I draw this right, whatever, right here. One, two, three. I kind of dipped right here for it. One, two, three, four. So once it broke that five, and then once it broke that, it was kind of like, all right, this is not a trade today. This is not the short day. So, um, luckily I didn't lose more money on this one. Just missed the big opportunity in the morning here. But I probably would have covered over VWAP to be completely honest with you. Because once it breaks over VWAP, unless I'm trying to reshort it, actually, this is what would have happened. I would have shorted it here or on the way down or maybe here. Covered some as it got a green candle here. Reshorted here. I probably would have lost like half my profits. Maybe here. Depending how much I size in. But I think if I would have seen this candle, like this area, I would have seen some consolidation and then it boosting up. I probably definitely would have got out, honestly. Because I've done that before in the past. Um, yeah, let's see. Let me redraw this. So definitely, probably would have tried to short at least in this area here. It also depends on my size. 500 shares is really oversizing. It's huge for me, honestly, because you got to think about the equity that I have compared to what I'm leveraged and margined and how much I'm willing to lose. So I would have liked to short in this area, especially in this pop here. It would have been great. And then honestly, would have took some down here, covered some, and then maybe covered some here. Would have reshorted it here. I would have not liked this. I would have been like nervous here. And once it kind of this happened, I probably would have been out here. And then if I was really paying attention, but like I think in my mindset I would have been like, you know what, this here is not good. You don't want to really see that. And if you do, you wanted to see it reject and then fail. But would you really with some real weakness, this doesn't happen. It's just here and then down and a continuation down and then it'll go like this. But I think this would have thrown me off. I would have been like, you know what, today's not the day. Today's not the day at all in terms of the big short. But maybe you would have reshorted it here. I actually wouldn't have been here at this time. So would have been the game plan. But yeah, still struggling. Don't really see any setup, so I probably won't even trade Monday. I'm probably just gonna be looking at circle. Dang it. Just circle. Hopefully, I'm gonna hope that it gaps up. I want it to gap up even more. Because even look at this 1 month RGC. Jeez. If you look at the 1 month gainer chart or scan, usually when it's a good market, you'll get over at least 75, maybe even over, actually over 100. I'll get over 100. Oklo, pretty weak. Gave back all these gains here. I mean, there's like some weakness in the market. Like SMR is weak. LEU kind of gave all its gains today back. SBET, this is turd. TMC pretty weak today too. It's kind of gapped up pretty nicely. Gapped up 7%. So you can see there's a lot of weakness in the market right now. Whether that's due to seasonality, whether that's due to the war, whether that's due to countries not making deals with tariffs, or countries making deals with tariff, or I don't know what it's done, or data coming out with unemployment or employment data, and uh, data with um, housing, whatever, inflation data. I know there was a FOMC the FOMC meeting on Wednesday. I mean, all this, there's whatever. Who cares what it is for? But there's a bunch of weakness in the market. Nothing is set up, so most likely, look at this thing. Have you seen Roblox? Roblox is nuts, insane. Look at this, straight 45-degree angle, insane. Anyways, yeah, there's nothing really. Look at LEU. Should have sold some more up there, idiot. Anyways, that's it for me. CoreWeave. A lot of people really expected this one. See, here's the thing: when everyone expects this thing to be a short or a long, it kind of gets really like this one here. It was good move, but now it needs to go to like 250 in order to be a short now. But anyways, yeah, some weakness in the market, so probably gonna plan on sleeping in one day. Actually, no, I can't. I'm gonna watch Circle. If Circle gaps up pretty large, or pretty big, I think I'm gonna look into short it. So yeah, that's it. See you guys.